Good afternoon, everyone. This is Athena, your host from Toronto. It's really a pleasure to be hosting this show, and you can watch us on YouTube and Facebook. Today, the topic of our show is RESP, and we have a financial professional who will be educating us, providing us valuable information regarding RESP. Her name is Zoila Lewis. She is from Jamaica and she resides in Toronto. She has been in the financial industry for 1 decade, really passionate about helping and educating people. She has great leadership skills. She's always, like I told you, ready to help others, providing information, and it's really an honor to have her, sorry, among us. And it's not the first time, it's her second time with us. So please help me welcome Zoila Lewis. Good afternoon, Zoila. How are you?
Hey, Shella, it's good to see you. Always good to be on your program. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, and thank you, for giving us your time, for being here, like I was saying, to educate, to provide valuable information. We have many immigrants, many Canadians also that watch the show, and I know information about finance will help them. And thank you for being here, ready to help.
Yes, that's what we're here for, to help our friends, our families, our community, in
Exactly.
finance and to help them because, I mean, we had gotten this education somehow, we were ignorant to this information. So why don't we just give back? That's what we're here for, to give back, right?
E-
So thank you again for having me.
Exactly. And Zoila, I remember meeting someone and who said, "Oh, I never contributed for my child for an RSP." I said, "Oh my God." He missed. So I said it shouldn't happen. We don't want this to happen to other people. So
Right.
let's have these topic to discuss. So yes,
Excellent.
we're saying RESP, RESP. What is RESP?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, RESP stands for Registered Education Savings Plan. So, off the bat, it's a registered plan, with different institutions, financial institution. It's registered because it's with the government. So, the government has a say in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we will not go there, but it's registered with the government. It's education, so it's a savings plan for children's education and children when they're ready to go to college, university, whether they're going to trade school. This money that we are saving for them can help with those costs because we don't want our children to be in financial challenges when they're going to colleges and university. And the great thing about this plan is that the government matches this plan. I think we're going to go into that further. So,
Mm-hmm.
but in a nutshell, it's a savings plan for children's education when they're ready to go to tertiary institution. And it's not limited to just colleges and universities. We can put them in trade schools and all that kind of institutions. This is that money that's there to help them financially. We don't want our kids coming out of university
Mm-hmm.
and colleges in debt. So we put these plans in place to help our children finance their education through colleges and universities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a nutshell of what that registered education
Nation
savings
savings
plan is.
is, and I know year by year, tuition fees, the university fees, and everything keeps on increasing. So it's really important, to plan
Mhm.
for children's education.
It is.
Yes. So who can contribute in this plan?
Oh, this is a very flexible plan because the parents can contribute, the grandparents can contribute. If you have a great aunt, a grandma, anybody can contribute for that particular child to the plan, right? So I could set up a plan for my nephews. Their mom can set up a plan for them too. The dad can set up a plan. The grandmother can set up a plan. So, but the limitation is the maximum contribution to the plan is $50,000 for the lifetime of the plan. So the plan ends like at about age 17 when the child is ready to go to university or college, or if they aren't even ready, but the plan ends at age 17, the end of the year that the child becomes 17, right? So as I said, grandma, grandpa, anybody can contribute to the plan, but the maximum you can put within the plan is $50,000. But grandma cannot contribute 50,000 and mom can contribute 50. They can't. So the whole plan for that particular child has to be $50,000.
There's a limit to it.
There is that limit there.
Interesting. So I think, for Christmas or any occasions that's a great gift to contribute in a child's education. So, grandparents, parents, grandparents, great aunties, these are gifts that you can give to the child.
So, I mean, even if the child is 1, you can set up a plan for this child and just make it your duty to say, contribute every year to this plan for this child. On the child's birthday, you could put a reminder. Let me remember to contribute this amount to my my great grandchild, my grandchild, my friends, my niece, my neighbor, whoever. Just contribute to these plans, but just be consistent with doing that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zoila. And I had also this question from parents. What if, at times, they think of the worst case scenario. What if the child, we're talking about the child's education, but then, the child said, oh no, I don't want to pursue tertiary education. I want to start to work. I want to start a business. So what happened to that money?
Yeah, so great question. If the child that particular child who's registered under doesn't decide to go to university or college, this plan could go to another child. So if your son says, oh, I don't want to go to college and university, I just want to go straight to work, this is lucrative, you send it to your other child. You transfer the plan to another child. Or if not, you can, as an adult, use that plan for yourself, right? So, and then also, more importantly, you can get back all the money you've contributed to the plan. Say you only have one child, and that one child says, Mom, I'm not going to college and university. I have this super job that I'm going into. So all the money that you contributed to this plan will come back to you with interest, right? The money, though, that the government would have contributed to that plan would go back to the government. But so you won't lose your money if nobody decides to go to high school or colleges, right? And nowadays, how the plans are set up, there's no penalties, or depending on the kind of plans we set up, more than likely there's no penalties if that child doesn't go to school or we take that money. Years before, there was that challenge with certain plans that there were so much penalties if children didn't go to school, but you'll get back your money if there's nobody to transfer this plan to, and you can even transfer this plan to your RSPs. So those are great vehicles that you can use this money for if your child doesn't go to school, and you will not lose. This is money you're saving up. Even at the end of this term that your child decides not to go to school, all that money comes back to you. It's a win-win situation. You get some interest on that money, it's yours.
Yes, that's true. And I know the government matches, so can you provide us a bit more information about how much?
Yeah, so that's very important. So anytime we're getting free money from the government, it's a good thing, so on your first contribution, the government gives you 20%, right? The maximum you can contribute that the government will match is $2,500 per year. All right. So if you contribute $3,000 for the year, the government will only match by 20% this 2,500, the first 2,500. That's how they'll match that. So they'll give you 20% on your money. That's called the CESG, which is a Canada Educational Savings Grant. So that's the first money you'll get. So whatever you're contributing, you'll get that definitely, right? So, I mean, there's also what's called the Canada Learning Bond, that for low-income families who are not able to, whose salary range is, say, less than 53,360 per annum, the government will give them an extra 10% on that money, right? So they could be contributing, say, whatever they're contributing, the government will match them the 20% on that. But then because their income level falls in a certain rate, the government will also give them an additional 10%. Also, if people or families are not able to financially afford to set up and to contribute, not set up, they can set it up, but if they cannot contribute to the RESPs, but they have an account, the government will put in a first $500 in that account and $100 every year thereafter, right? So for people who are not able to contribute, whatever challenges you're having right now, don't be deterred from opening it up, because there is still money that the government will contribute. You only need to set up this account and the government will contribute, as I said, $500 in the first year and then $100 every year after that, until the child becomes 15. So the total, I mean, if you started right when the child was born, the total you could get into about $2,000 in that account. That is just the government contributing that money to the account for you. And then how we set up this account, we set them up that we're trying to make sure that there's some interest that's grown on this money, some interest accrued on this money. So that's the win-win situation there. So please don't be deterred if you're saying, oh my God, I don't have this money. Let's set up these accounts and just get these contributions that the government are offering, which will be used for our children's education later on.
Thank you so much for this valuable information, because I've met people that will tell me, hey, I'm sorry, I'm unable to contribute. So this, for all those watching us, even if you're having some challenges, open the account and benefit from, the Canadian Learning Bond that you're getting from the government. Don't get discouraged. Now you have the information, there is no reason why not starting an account when you have a child, for the child's education.
And just one thing before your next question that I want to add, depending on the different provinces, there could be additional monies that are contributing to different, depending on where the provinces are.
Yes. Right? I thank you for mentioning it, because I'm also licensed. I'm licensed in Quebec, and Quebec get 30%. Get 10% more than other provinces. Yes,
that's amazing. That's amazing. We don't want families to lose out on this, for whatever reason. So please just set up an account for your children. They will thank you. There's so many young people we meet nowadays who have a burden of student loan. We're not saying these plans will cover everything, but it's a drop in the bucket. It's something that is available to help our children when they're going to tertiary institutions, help with something, so that they don't have that load of debt that they're coming out of university or colleges with.
Yeah, thank you. It's really important, to think ahead and prepare for the child's education, the child's future. And I know there are some people, they don't start right. There are parents that don't start right away, so they can catch up, right?
Yeah, they can. You can catch up on the last year's contribution. So if you contributed to 2005 this year, you didn't contribute last year, you have that opportunity to contribute $2,500 for the previous year um, you did not contribute. So there are these things
Mm-hmm.
that we're here to discuss with you, to help you, to make sure that you're planning for your family's future, for your children's education. That's what we're talking about today. But we just want the word out that there are these plans available to help you to save for all different types of situation that may come up in your family. But as we say, we're dealing with the education today for children. So, just contact either myself or Sheila, and we'll be more than willing to help you. We want to just see you succeed and your children succeed. So this is just one of the plans we put together for that.
Yeah, that's true, and we are here to help, and we know that, one of the whys of why people come to Canada, it's also for the kids' education. They want to provide better education for their kids. So one way to plan for it's the RESP.
Yes,
You know.
definitely. Definitely.
Yes, feel free to reach out to Zoila and myself regarding the RESPs. Wanted to ask you another question. This question, I have it from many parents. Hey, because they think that what if 1 month they are unable to contribute? Let's say they start, and in 3 months they have some financial challenges and they can't.
Um, Not to worry about those things. I
Right?
mean, things happen in people's lives, but it's just for them to contact us to let us know, hey, I'm having this challenge right now. We can put the plan on pause. We could not the plan. We can say, hey, don't take money from my bank account, my client's bank account this month for whatever reason. And then when you're ready to start back, you just tell us. We'll say, hey, whatever institution we are putting the money with, you just say, hey, can you go back and start taking the money? You know, and you can also always pay catch up. If say last month you missed $200, if that's your contribution for that month, you can say, hey, take $400, take $250 next month. Those are the flexibilities that we have. But don't worry, as we said, remember we talked about the CLB, that for people who don't even have contribution, they can set this up, right? They will still get some amount of grants or bonds from the government, because I mean, just taking that initiative to set this plan up will help you and will help your child.
Amazing. I know one company that, the client can even see the performance. If they want to add more money in that account, let's say in December, the child is getting gifts after, watching the show, the, grandparents, aunties, they say, okay, we're going to send money. And now the parents have more money to be able to put in that account. So the parents can easily, there's so much facilities, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a very good statement that you've made, because it's October in the next few days. Oh my gosh, time is running
Time
fast.
is flying, yep.
So what parents can do if they weren't able to maximize on their contributions for the year, let's say they were only putting $2,000 per year. You want to maximize on that plan. So before December 31st, you could add the extra $500 so you can get the maximum amount of grants that the government will offer for that particular year. So before December 31st, we want you, if you have an RESP, to maximize on that. Put in the full 2,500. As I said, if you were only contributing 2,000, try to maximize on that extra $500 so you can get the grants that the government is offering. And a great thing that Sheila said is that, you know what, your kids get a lot of gifts and at Christmas, let those people who are giving gifts, let them give money, and then you put this money into the RESPs. It will help you, right? And it will help the child, even more. So that's a good point. Maximize on your contribution before December 31st so that you can get the extra grants that the government is giving. Who doesn't want extra money, right?
Yes, who? That's
and
true.
this is going to be used for something that's very important for you and your family. So
Hmm.
why not use it up?
Yes, for the future, for long term. Yeah. Thank you so much, Zoila, for being here, for providing us information. We've, through you, we got also options that you showed us this afternoon, right?
Mhm.
Which is amazing. And we want everyone to win in this country. We want everyone to succeed
Yeah,
because we came here. That's the reason we want a big change in our life. We want success, and RESP is one of the answers. Okay.
that's that's so true. Thank you very much for having me. We're here to help. We're here to help our families grow. We know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
to not have to have struggling with all these plans, college tuition, all these things. So we want our friends and our families, our listeners, our viewers to be proactive and be
Mm-hmm.
informed. So that's what we're doing. So reach out to Shayla, reach out to myself. We're more than willing and able to help you to assist your family with these plans. So thank you very much for having me again, Shayla.
You're welcome, Zoila. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your time. And everyone watching us right now, you can see our phone numbers, sorry. Feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time for another show, another topic, another interesting topic. So, everyone, have a great day and see you next time. Bye, Zoila.
Oh, okay.